Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chaotic Entertainment. I'm your host, Daniel Clark, and today we'll be taking an early look at Pumpkin Jack. This is an indie game made by Nicolas Meyssonnier of Headup. This is a one-man project made by this man, Nicolas. I will say I've played through the demo once already, and it's fairly interesting. It's got a pretty solid groundwork. We'll just go through the options real quick so I can show you something. This game has a full borderless window option. Now, this is something a lot of PC games still in 2020 don't have, which is kind of embarrassing if we're being upfront about this sort of thing, especially since a small indie developer by himself is able to do this. By himself, no less. Now, I asked the developer if the music for this game was also sourced, because the music is very fitting of the game, and you'll see why once we get in, and I unfortunately was not able to get much of a response, but that's besides the point. Like I said, platforming, hack and slash. Very simple, very upfront. Looks nice. Let's take a look here.
Once upon a time in the Borden Kingdom, all things lived in peaceful coexistence. From humans to cute little bunny rabbits. The world was free from war, hunger, fear. And it was boring. So very boring. So boring, in fact, that even the devil himself was dreadfully bored. He dreamt of bloodshed, lives torn asunder, fire, brimstone, and the like. So the devil devised a plan to torment those pitiful, comfortable, boring humans. He unleashed the curse of the eternal night. A powerful spell that awakened bloodthirsty monsters across the realm. The humans, however, quite liked their boring lives. They weren't just going to sit idly by as monsters destroyed their kingdom. So they called upon a masterful wizard, the only sorcerer powerful enough to end the curse. The devil, enraged yet still bored, retaliated by summoning the soul of Jack into the skin of a pumpkin. He then sent Jack to the kingdom with one mission: find and destroy the wizard.
Well, that was a lovely little cutscene, I think. I hope you all enjoyed that. Or if you skipped it, well, I must say you missed some art. Hello there, sir. Alright, it would appear we've landed. We've gotten our torn up, feeble peasant clothes on, and it looks like I'm mostly made of lumber. Lumber and very old, tattered up clothing. Now, I am playing this game with a gamepad. The game recommended that I do so. The quick thing about that, though, is that if I go to the options and I check commands, it recommends I use a gamepad, but it does not show me what the keybinds for, or the button binds rather, for the gamepad. Oh my lord. For the gamepad are. So, you kind of have to just, you know, figure it out and hope for the best. Oh. So. Oh, here we are. There's the owl. Jack, finally, I've been waiting for you for at least 5 minutes. Now is not the time, Sparrow. I'm in the middle of something. Let me help you. We need each other. I know everything there is to know about this realm, and I can guide you wherever you need. A lot of good that'll do me, but what's in it for you, strange pigeon? That is an owl, sir. Ever since this curse was unleashed, all I can hear at night are the sounds of humans screaming bloody murder and monsters grunting. How is anyone supposed to sleep through that? You look like the type that can shut their mouths once and for all. Fair enough, but if you slow me down, I'll pluck those feathers off and turn you into soup before you even say, oh? Alright. Are we clear? Crystal, anything for a good night's sleep. Very nice. Very nice. So, a few things. The game does not tell you what the run button is kind of early on, which means you have to slog through the very early parts of the tutorial, if you're using a controller like I was, not knowing how to move faster than this. The game does have climbing mechanics. The game trusts you with a jump button, which is very refreshing. And here we have the checkpoint system. It's very similar to old school traditional checkpoints. You touch it, you die, you come back here. quick note about Mr. Jack here. Mr. Jack cannot swim, so I will not be doing any deep diving or exploration in the water, unfortunately, but we will persevere. Crow skulls. I only found 13 of them last time I did this. As far as I'm aware, there's really no benefits, in the demo at least, for gathering all of them, so we'll just be leaving them there. Nightfall is approaching. That means even more monsters grunting. I hate this. I've never heard of an owl that hates the night, but, you know, to each their own. Can I make this in one jump? Yes, I can. Oh, and there's no fall damage in this game. Thank God. I understand why some platformers have fall damage, but oh my God, it's one of the worst things in the world, and I hate it. It can be part of a challenging but rewarding experience for many. I am not one of those many. There we go. Here we are, and then you get the notification that you can run. A quick thing about this game is you can kind of glitch in here to see into the house if you do things right. There's nothing inside it, though. It's just hollow decoration. Which is fine. I think it's just kind of neat that I can sort of see in there where I'm not supposed to. Did I leave something? How the hell? Oh, right. No, I get that one later. It takes a fair bit before we actually see any combat in this game as well, which is fine. They want you to get a hold of the controls before you start going into the mayhem and the madness, which is understandable. Oh, that would be the skull I missed last time. Hello. Thank you. A nice thing is your jumping speed is the same speed as your movement speed, which in platforming I feel is a must. It's very nice having that consistency, because a lot of games don't. Certain games, especially older titles, you slowed down or you sped up when you jumped, which meant with platforming it was a little difficult to gauge and measure just how far you were going to end up going. And in a game where platforming, where you have to land on these, not necessarily narrow in this one, but in these spaces where you have to land nearly precisely, or else you risk falling and either dying or having to redo a lot of your work to get your progress back. Having that level of consistency is very, very nice. It's a cornerstone of games like, you know, Cuphead and other games like that. Oh, was that too far? Oh, no, I made it. All right. And then I can get the skull that was over here. Very nice. Which brings me to 10. Once again, be careful not to fall into the water. Hello, crows. You're picking on me, Pumpkinhead. You're picking on me, right? Don't screw with the crow crew, or we'll take care of you. Excuse me, repeat that once again, please. I need water. I am Jack, the Pumpkin King, and no crew shall stop me. Though I see you have guts and sharp claws, I might be able to use someone like you. Would you like to join me on my quest? What for? I've got all I want here. Suit yourself. I'm collecting skulls, which I think might interest you and your crew. You've got crow skulls. Now you have my attention. Marvelous. Alright, so, bit of a confession. You can attack in this game without using the crow, but I didn't figure out how to do it until later. Oh, here we go. Give me this. Very nice. Somehow I managed to miss the shovel the first time I did this. So I was very mad at the game because I was running around and only able to use my slowly recharging crow attack there. Made for some not so pleasant gameplay, but that was entirely my fault. You know, I do this almost professionally. Not really. You'd think I would know something simple as, you know, looking with my eyes. But that's neither here nor there. Alright. Now for the combat. Combat is not this game's specialty. It's a little clunky. It's there, and the foundation is great. The foundation is very, very solid. It's just, it's not amazing. You can move, attack, and dodge, and that's about it. There's no system like counters. There's no kind of... Can I get him down from there? No. Basically, most of your combat's going to consist of you running up, hitting them a few times, and then basically running away. Otherwise, they'll hit you. Right. There's no way... The game really doesn't have a skill cap, or, you know, there's no real advanced play methods, basically. I had to leave a quick editor's note here in response to the combat. It would appear that actually there are a lot more different weapons in the game. They're not going to just be stat differences. You can see here that he has a gun. If you go down into further pictures and such, he has a scythe or a throwing weapon as well. So it looks like there's going to be some variety that you can switch around with. So hopefully that adds a bit to the experience. Back to the video. And unfortunately, with a lot of games, and again, I know this is made by one person, with a lot of games like this, combat is so important. Yep. Okay, I gotta get this down. Having a combat system that really only consists of 1 or 2 parts, in a game of this style at least, it can get a bit tedious, but I don't know if outside of the demo there are more combat actions or if there are more abilities you can unlock. This is one of the mini games. In order to move on in the game, you have to complete small objectives like this from time to time. The controls are basically the same, and the options you have are still very similar. Basically, I'm just moving this. Get up here, hit that. Oh, you know what? And I'm already an idiot. Oops. I wonder if I can break these. Apparently not. Then we just go from there to here. Oh, and I missed. Hello, yes, I would like up there, please. Did they actually flesh out the entire underside of this instead of it just being a solid rectangle? That's actually pretty nice. Well done. Well done, Nicholas. Okay. I wonder if I can break that. I hope I can't. That'd be very unfortunate. Can I would just like to go up here, please. Thank you. Thank you. There we are. Now, was that supposed to be in there that I was doing that in? I don't know. It's not, in my opinion, really fully explained. It doesn't have to be, though. It doesn't have to be. It just leaves me and my poor, useless brain kind of confused. Hello there! There we go. So, see, yes, if you run up, you can't kill them in one hit with your shovel. I almost said sword. It's not a sword. So more often than not, you're gonna hit them a couple of times and then back away. There we go. The only other, like, unique combat action you have is you can do a jump attack, like a ground pound, but so far I've not really found any use for that. It mostly seems to just be a way to get you to stand in place and then let them hit you a couple of times. Jack, I'm surprised to see you here. You are the legendary Pumpkin King, and you're, the awful Scarecrow. Unlike you, the devil didn't give me legs. What are you doing here? The devil sent me to kill a wizard in fear of destroying guys like us for good. What? You think you're capable of saving us all just because you have a set of legs? That's silly. Clearly I'm the better fighter. Give me your legs. I'll face the wizard myself. Come and get them. Oh wait, I forgot you can't move. I'm going to stuff you, Scarecrow. No you. Witty banter right there. So the boss fights are actually, so far, excuse me. So the boss fight here, this is the only one that you'll find in the demo, is actually pretty interesting. He's got a lot of different mechanics. You can't just stand there and hit him. He's not just a hunk of, like, you know, he's not a flesh wall. He's dynamic, he moves around. The way you beat him is set in stone, but at least they make it interesting. And it very much uses the rule of 3 that most old school Nintendo games used. Yes, 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 go on up. Sound effects are quite nice. There we go, get up in there. Jump. Now, what? This goes back to what this part here. This goes back to what I was mentioning about the combat earlier. I wish you could do damage to him if you were nimble enough or careful enough to time your jumps around his shockwaves. If you could seriously... Oh, excuse me. If the game would just reward you for having that little extra level of skill, that would just be fantastic. There we go. And that slays him, which gives us the axe. We're not going to take the axe. We're going to move on. The game will not let me move on. Alright, we have to take the axe. And that gives us the axe. Perfect. The only downside to the axe is... it ends the demo. Ladies and gentlemen, this game was Pumpkin Jack, brought to you by Nicolas Meyssonnier. it's a fine demo. It's a fine demo. It has a lot of promise. Sorry, I don't know what is with my speech today. It has a lot of promise. A lot of polish has gone into it. It needs more. There were some times when I did my first playthrough where I was getting stuck on trees, stuck on things, invisible walls, and that sort of thing. But honestly, this game just feels like it needs a bug test, which for a demo, that's par for the course, really. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know down below by leaving a like and subscribing to this channel. I'll be sure to leave a link to this game and the Twitter feed or whatever else the developer has going on in the description of this video. And I'll see you all in the next video.